Hey News Closet Nation, I come to you again with echoey audio to talk about how 50 days ago, on September 13th, the Daily Herald came out with an interesting article. The Daily Herald is a local newspaper that covers happenings in Utah County, and on this occasion, they were covering rumors that Evermore Park was to imminently close permanently. A link to this news article will be included in the description below, but these rumors began when on September 11th there was a Reddit post from a burner account claiming to be an Evermore employee who had attended a confidential meeting that weekend where they announced that Evermore Park would be closing its gates permanently on October 31st, which is really sad because open gates is famously the most important attraction. Obviously, this post was the worst thing to ever happen on September 11th. And as an enormous fan of the park, I was devastated. It felt like a bad breakup, and I felt genuine grief. And over the days that followed, I went through each of the fake 5 stages of grief. I thought that maybe the poster was mistaken or lying to drum up drama. But as the post gained traction, it was deleted from the Evermore Park subreddit, which for me confirmed that there must be something behind it. As word of the post got around, the Evermore fan Discord was flooded with individuals who are not normally part of the Evermore fan community. This happens every time that there's some bad news that comes out about the park, as people love to revel in our misery. But on this occasion, it was more upsetting to me than usual because my emotions were already heightened as a result of just barely hearing this news. I'm never upset with people who have interacted with the park in a meaningful way and subsequently been burned. In its wake, Evermore Park has left a lot of caring individuals that it has caused real pain. And I'll never argue against those people's feelings towards the park because sadly they've earned them. But I felt less understanding towards those who have never even been to the park, who were posting implying that as a fan, I myself am immoral for committing the crime of liking a thing that they think I shouldn't. In response to all this buzz, Ken Brettschneider put up a public Facebook post that very same night, which is linked in the same news article from before, nostalgically reflecting on Evermore's journey. Ken did not, in plain terms, confirm the park's impending closure, but the overall vibe wasn't super reassuring. Towards the end of his post, he wrote, "I hope you will all make it out this season. Time goes by quickly. Times are tough, and you never know when the end might come." Evermore Park's marketing team also prepared a statement, which tried to encourage fans to come out for 2 reasons. First was all of the new and exciting things that would be added for the Halloween season. And the second, in the last 3 lines of the statement, read, "Please continue to fight with us and support this season. Community support will help determine if we exist past the lore season. Please help us make this a possibility." A lot of the sudden guests to the Evermore community were certain that this was a lie, designed to wring as much money as possible out of attendees before Evermore ran out of the front door with a burlap sack full of cash and set the entire park on fire behind them for the insurance money. But for those of us who had to, we held out hope that it could be true. But still, after this news, thoughts of Evermore were painful. And for me, thoughts of Evermore are near constant. So I was curled up, giving myself space to just feel that. I had already announced and heavily promoted a live stream that I would be doing on the opening night of Lore. And prior to learning this news, I was genuinely the most excited I had been in over a year to really dive in and experience the story of Evermore. But now, I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to enjoy myself with this big shadow looming over it all. And when it came down to it, I did feel too sad on opening night to have fun the way that I wanted to. So immediately after the live stream, I left the park, heartsick, before the night was even halfway over. I was starting to come to terms with the fact that Evermore was soon going to be gone, and that it was time to prepare. I didn't grow out a mustache for my Nutcracker costume because there wasn't even going to be a winter season to wear it in. I made a goal of releasing a video every single day in October, with the actual intent to burn myself out. And I do this to really drown myself in this hobby, to make sure that I hate it at the end of the month, so that it doesn't hurt as much. In the final week of October, nearly all of the most dedicated actors were posting on their social media saying to come see them at Evermore now, as they would soon be taking an indefinite hiatus for various reasons. To me, this indicated that they believed there was no hope for Evermore to stay open. So towards the end, I experienced a secret 6th stage, which was relief. I felt relief that my favorite struggling theme park wouldn't have to suffer anymore. I felt relief that I wouldn't be spending a frankly absurd amount of time making these videos anymore, and that I wouldn't have to make that difficult decision myself as it was being made for me. My purpose in life, and the most important thing to me in the world, is being a good dad. And my little girl isn't going to be 5 forever, and I could be spending more time playing with her. Or even selfishly, I have bought and paid money for Baldur's Gate 3, and have not even opened it one time since it was launched. So of course, after all of that, today, Evermore Park posted the following on their social media. Coming soon, Evermore's magical winter season, Aurora. Explore a Christmas Carol story with a twist. Enjoy our Dickens-styled village and Kris Kringle market. Their main website transformed into a winter theme and said that tickets to Aurora would be available for sale later this week. So what happened? Well, on October 27th, during what was thought to be the final weekend ever of Evermore, keen-eyed park regulars noticed the owners of the park walking some guests around. And apparently, those guests liked what they saw because that very same night they signed paperwork to invest. Ken shared this news with someone out loud inside of the park, and fans walking by overheard it. Before the night was over, the entire Evermore Park community had learned about it.
It's a complete secret. So, naturally, the whole school knows.
On the literal day before the rumored closure, the funds were transferred and the crisis avoided. When I heard, I didn't know how to feel. I had expended so much emotional energy going through the process that I just outlined that I couldn't celebrate it all being for nothing. In fact, it kicked off a new and different process of grief for me. The following night, I was unable to summon the energy to go down to the park. I felt angry at the person who had made that Reddit post for causing months of torment over something that we weren't even supposed to know about and that didn't even happen. They said that they broke their non-disclosure agreement to help annual pass holders to get their money back. But for one thing, folks in the community have asked employees and operations how many annual passes have been sold, and they gave us a number: 12. So while this may not be a valid argument against it, it's not like the poster was saving some grand population. And for another thing, some of those pass holders had already tried to get a refund back in the summer when they temporarily got rid of an ongoing story, and they were unable to. And as an employee of the park, the poster likely already understood this. I was also angry that my deliberate efforts to make me weary of something that I loved had worked as intended. And now that it was no longer needed, I didn't know how to move forward. So, what happens now? Do I have the strength to make the decision for myself that I was eventually relieved had been made for me? On the first night of the winter season, I will be hosting a live stream to give you a glimpse into what the park has to offer while the Aurora portal is open. The Aurora page says the following: Winter Wonderland Adventure. Imagine an old Dickens-styled village filled with winter magic. Set out on an adventure and discover a variety of characters in the classic tale, but spelled like in Animal's Tale, of A Christmas Carol. And of course, a twist of Evermore fantasy. Discover both classic Christmas decorations and the amazing lights of Aurora. Visit our Kris Kringle marketplace featuring amazing gifts crafted by local artists. Enjoy a warm, savory pie, hot chocolate or cider, and a yummy treat. Take a ride on the Evermore Express train. Skate on our beautiful ice rick, and so much more. The first offering that is confirmed is entrance to Evermore Park. That's right, it's back, baby! The page also currently mentions quests, but I'll wait and see what that looks like. With new financial backers comes new opinions about what Evermore Park should be. The rumor is that the investors are Meow Wolf, and they have a very different vision of how immersive experiences like this should work, making less use of actors, which is my favorite part. So tune into the live stream on opening night later this month to see for yourself. And to play you out, here's the pictures at the bottom of the Aurora page. Thank you for listening.